The film opens in the stillness of a remote forest, known as a favorite spot for camping. The peaceful atmosphere turns sinister as the camera slowly approaches a messy tent stained with blood. Tension builds as the audience is drawn inside, where lifeless bodies lie in gruesome condition, as if mauled by a savage creature. The movie officially begins. The scene shifts to a small town called Axehead, home to a young police officer named Maddy. She chose to follow in the footsteps of her father, Murray, a legendary hero in the town. Murray was not only a respected local police officer, but also a decorated war veteran. His dedication to protecting the town, both as a soldier and as an officer, earned him a place in the hearts of the townspeople. Tragically, Murray lost his life while saving Maddy from drowning in a near-fatal accident. His heroic sacrifice left a lasting mark on the community, and even now, his name is spoken as though he still lives on in everyone's hearts. Determined to continue her father's legacy, Maddy, still young at the time, was appointed to take his place as the town's police officer, though the responsibility weighed heavily on her.
And the local cop.
While patrolling the downtown area, Maddy is approached by a man named Schmitty, his face pale with fear. An avid hunter in the nearby woods, Schmitty recounts a terrifying encounter. While hunting with his dog, he claims to have come across an enormous and unusually aggressive kangaroo. Unlike any ordinary kangaroo, this one viciously attacked his dog. Schmitty fired his hunting rifle at the animal, but the bullets seemed to have no effect. He swears the creature possesses unnatural strength. With a grave tone, Schmitty warns Maddy that the beast may be far more dangerous than she realizes, and if left unchecked, it could attack the townspeople and wreak havoc. Maddy, however, finds his story too far-fetched to believe. Instead of taking immediate action, she heads to her Aunt Donna's bar after hearing sounds of a commotion inside.
Well, do you want to root him?
Face pinhead.
Little man.
Sorry about this, Maddy.
There, two minors, Rick and Parker, are arguing heatedly. Clearly under the influence of alcohol, they are oblivious to the trouble they're causing. Their boss, Dave, has already tried to break up the fight, but they refuse to listen. Luckily, Maddy steps in and manages to calm things down. As punishment, Rick and Parker are told to walk home and are forbidden from driving, given their drunken state. Reluctantly, they begin their journey on foot as night falls.
Ow.
All right, get up.
Far out.
All right, you can sleep it off in your car or you can walk, but you're not...
At one point, when Parker steps aside to relieve himself, the two hear rustling in the bushes. Without warning, they are attacked by the ferocious kangaroo, and both are killed instantly.
You hear that? My piss.
The next morning, the bodies of Rick and Parker are discovered by Dave and Donna along the path the two had taken the night before. The gruesome sight prompts them to immediately report the incident to Maddy. She is called to the scene to investigate their deaths. Upon examining the mutilated corpses, the initial assumption is that the two men may have been attacked by a wild animal. In the middle of the investigation, Schmitty arrives, warning Maddy that this is exactly what he had feared. He insists the attacker is the same vicious kangaroo he encountered earlier and urges her to act quickly before the creature strikes again. Maddy, however, refuses to believe it. To her, the idea of a kangaroo committing murder is absurd, even though the wounds on the bodies raise troubling questions. The remains are sent to the morgue for further examination. There, Tom, the town's undertaker, offers his professional opinion after inspecting the wounds. The pattern is consistent with an animal attack, not a human one. Still, Maddy clings to her theory that this could be the work of a person using a specialized weapon designed to mimic the injuries caused by an animal. As she weighs the possibilities, she suddenly receives a phone call from one of her colleagues with startling news. A miner named Rubbin, recently hired at Dave's mining operation, has a serious criminal record, including a history of violence and premeditated murder. Acting on this lead, Maddy calls Dave and instructs him to bring Rubbin in for questioning. She wants to determine if he had any involvement in Rick and Parker's deaths, given his suspicious presence near the mine and his dark past. Assuming Rubbin may be the prime suspect, Maddy rushes to the mining site.
Dave, can you get one of your new workers to take him in?
All right, Mads.
Dave escorts Rubbin to her, and as soon as he arrives, Maddy wastes no time interrogating him. She questions his whereabouts on the night of the incident and presses him about his violent criminal history. At first, Rubbin appears calm, but as Maddy continues to push, he begins to falter, eventually seeming resigned, as if giving up on denial. To prevent any further danger, Maddy decides to detain Rubbin, officially naming him the prime suspect in the murders of Rick and Parker. After arresting Rubbin, Maddy heads to her aunt's bar to rest for a while and update the townspeople. There, she announces to the patrons that the killer responsible for Rick and Parker's deaths has been caught. Maddy assures everyone that the situation is now under control and there's no reason to be afraid anymore. Among the listeners is Troy, a young track athlete who's at the bar with his mother. Relieved, Troy approaches Maddy and asks if he can resume his usual evening training runs. Maddy explains that with Rubbin behind bars, the town is safer than ever, and there's no reason for him to worry about his safety. Taking her words to heart, Troy returns to his routine, running into the night. During his route, he hears movement coming from the bushes. Without warning, the monstrous kangaroo lunges out and attacks him. When Troy doesn't return home, his worried parents decide to search for him, following the trail he normally takes during training. Finding no sign of their son, they eventually report his disappearance to Maddy, pleading for her help. Maddy rushes to the location they mention, but it's too late. Troy's parents have already found his body, lifeless. Overcome with grief and rage, Troy's parents lash out at Maddy, blaming her for declaring the town safe after Rubbin's arrest. In their eyes, her premature conclusion cost their son's life. Maddy stands in silence, guilt weighing heavily on her.
I can't look at him like this again.
After the incident, Maddy visits her aunt's home, seeking answers, or at least a lead. Donna tries to comfort her, insisting this tragedy isn't entirely her fault. Maddy regrets dismissing Schmitty's warning about the murderous kangaroo, something that had sounded absurd but now feels horrifyingly real after the deaths of Troy, Rick, and Parker. She recalls the kangaroo tracks near each crime scene, still baffled by what could make an animal act so viciously. Donna suggests a solution: form a hunting party with Dave and the miners to track the beast. She admits she doesn't fully trust Schmitty. After all, she was once married to him, and their relationship ended in disaster. She believes his war trauma left him unstable, prone to hallucinations and irrational thoughts. Still, Donna acknowledges that despite his flaws, there's a chance Schmitty might be telling the truth. Hearing her aunt's words, Maddy immediately heads to Schmitty's house. Her purpose is clear: to invite him to join a hunting party she plans to form to stop the kangaroo before more lives are lost. Maddy explains that along with herself and Schmitty, Donna, Dave, and several miners will also join the group in their mission to bring down the deadly creature. The next morning, the team gathers at their agreed meeting point. They decide to split into two groups to make the search more efficient. The first group, Maddy, Schmitty, and Donna, will patrol the popular campsite often visited by tourists. The second group, led by Dave with Mecca, John, and Jimmy, will sweep through the forest near the abandoned mine. Before setting out, both groups prepare their gear with utmost seriousness. Weapons, ammunition, and radio communication are prioritized. Maddy makes sure everyone is fully equipped, knowing they are facing no ordinary threat. When everything is ready, the groups set off toward their designated areas.
Dave? Copy that.
Maddy, Schmitty, and Donna travel until they reach the well-known campsite. Stepping out of the vehicle cautiously, they grab their weapons, ammunition, and survival equipment. As they begin searching, they come across a tent smeared with blood. Curious about what's inside, Maddy checks, only to find no one there, just blood splattered everywhere. Meanwhile, Dave's group arrives at the forest near the old mine. They step out of the vehicle, armed and alert. Not far from where they parked, they find the mangled carcass of a cow, its body ripped apart as if by a savage predator. The gruesome discovery makes it clear that danger is close. Without wasting time, they split into 3 search units, Dave and Mecca each going solo, while John pairs with Jimmy. The plan is simple. If anyone hears or sees something, they are to shout loudly so the others can rush to help. But just as Mecca takes her first steps into the woods, the kangaroo attacks without warning. Hearing her screams, John and Jimmy rush to her aid, firing at the beast relentlessly. The gunfire only seems to enrage it further. In the chaos, John becomes the kangaroo's next victim. Seeing John killed before his eyes, Jimmy tries to run from the kangaroo, but within seconds the beast catches him and kills him on the spot. Now Dave is the only one left alive. Realizing that their weapons can't kill the creature, Dave chooses to escape by car. But the kangaroo doesn't let him go so easily. In a burst of speed, it forces Dave's vehicle off course, causing a severe crash. The accident is heard by Maddy, who happens to be nearby with Schmitty and Donna. They immediately drive toward Dave's location. Maddy's group finds Dave gravely injured, bleeding heavily from the crash. With his final breaths, Dave tells Maddy that everyone else is dead, killed by the kangaroo, before dying in her arms.
Dave, he's not gone. You have to do something, you have to do something.
Shattered, Maddy walks back to the car, feeling like she has failed as a police officer, unable to protect the people she swore to keep safe. As she sits in silence, her mind drifts to a haunting memory, the day she nearly drowned in a lake. Her father, Murray, had rushed in with bravery, pulling her from the water. But in the process, fate turned cruel. Murray drowned and died moments later. Schmitty and Donna join her in the car, sensing her grief. Maddy confesses how deeply it hurts to watch the townspeople die one by one, just as her father did while trying to protect her. She admits she feels nothing like the man who was respected as the town's hero. Murray could always protect others, provide safety, and inspire those around him, while she, in her own eyes, has only watched helplessly as the terror continues. Then, Schmitty urges Donna to finally reveal the truth they've both kept hidden from Maddy and the rest of the town. Donna, her face heavy with regret, begins to speak. Murray, the man celebrated as a hero, was not the person everyone believed. After returning from the war, he was no longer the same. He fell into destructive habits, most notably a crippling dependence on alcohol that eroded his life. The story of his heroic sacrifice, dying to save Maddy from drowning, was a fabrication. In reality, Murray didn't die protecting his daughter. He died after slipping while drunk, his head striking a large rock, causing fatal bleeding. Maddy, contrary to what she'd been told her whole life, had known how to swim and was never truly in danger. Donna had lied to Maddy and the entire town, crafting a tale of heroic sacrifice to preserve Murray's image as a noble protector. She spread the false story far and wide, ensuring Murray's reputation as a local hero would endure. His photo hung in her bar, a constant reminder of the man the town thought he was. But the truth was far from the legend. Most of Murray's heroic deeds were Donna's inventions. Without her, there would be no hero for the town to honor. Now, Maddy, who had built her identity on the belief that her father was a selfless protector, is forced to confront the reality that it was all a lie. Donna apologizes for keeping the truth from her. Before they can process the revelation, the kangaroo suddenly attacks. Instead of feeling fear, Maddy takes a desperate gamble. She drives the car straight toward the kangaroo.
How was that thing?
Unfortunately, her plan fails. The creature dodges effortlessly, causing the car to slam into a tree. The crash leaves the vehicle unusable, forcing them to continue on foot toward Schmitty's house, which is nearby and has another car they can use.
Oh, is that piece of
crap car gonna work?
When they arrive, Maddy goes to check the condition of the car while asking Schmitty and Donna to wait inside and try calling for backup over the radio.
That works.
Yeah, all right, because I think it'd be headed to town.
Hotel, come in, please.
While inspecting the vehicle, Maddy unexpectedly finds Schmitty's missing dog, alive and unharmed, without so much as a scratch. Once she confirms the car is in working order, Maddy urges Schmitty and Donna to leave for town immediately to warn the townspeople about the danger. Upon arriving, they head straight to the bar, the community's main gathering place. Maddy, Schmitty, and Donna tell everyone to hide in the basement as a deadly threat is closing in. Rick, Parker, Troy, Dave, and several miners have already fallen victim to the monstrous kangaroo. But the beast reaches town faster than expected. The group works together to barricade every entrance, sealing doors and windows to slow it down.
I need to lock every door and window. We need to barricade that front door.
After ensuring the townspeople are hidden safely underground, Maddy, Schmitty, and Donna prepare to stand as the last line of defense. Their efforts prove futile when the kangaroo smashes through the main door with ease. There's no time to hesitate. Known for her careful planning, Maddy begins to think strategically. Every creature must have a weakness. She concludes that destroying the kangaroo's brain may be the only way to end its reign of terror. It's risky, but with the threat closing in, they have no other choice. Working together, they execute the plan. In the end, they succeed, obliterating the kangaroo's brain and finally killing the creature that has terrorized their town. Relief washes over them. Maddy, who had long doubted her ability to lead, now feels respected. She has faced her fear, protected the people she loves, and proven herself capable of being the town's hero. In the closing scene, however, a disturbing twist unfolds. Tom, the town's undertaker, is baffled to discover that the corpses of Rick and Parker have vanished. Moments later, the horrifying truth emerges. They have turned into zombies and immediately attack Tom. It becomes clear that everyone killed by the monstrous kangaroo will return as the undead, once again threatening the town's survival. And the story ends.